Mindful Life Practice community.
Cushion and maybe a block. There we go. All right, perfect. So we're going to start our practice today in a seated position. And can you lengthen up through your spine and soften your shoulders? And then flip your palms to be face up as an intention of openness. Taking deep breaths in and out. Allow these deep breaths in and out to bring you deeper into this moment. Deeper into this space and into this practice. Our palms are face up as a symbol of letting go. Our intention tonight being aparigraha, which is the third yama in the Yoga Sutras, which pertains to letting go. So if it inspires you, I invite you to finish the following sentence. I would be lighter if I let go of. What would you be lighter if you let go of? Taking one more breath. And then can you just bring your palms to your heart center? We're going to interlace the palms and reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. And then just do a lateral side bend. Coming all the way up and then side bending the opposite way. Lifting all the way up with a big breath in, just release that grip. And then just do a spinal twist. So you land your left palm on your right thigh, have your right fingertips behind you, kind of dropping into a twist. And then inhale your arms all the way up. And then twist the opposite way. Lifting your arms all the way back up, just sweeping up through the arms. Taking your palms into your heart center. And then we're gonna lift up and come onto the knees. So the first pose that we're gonna do is we're going to kind of stretch through the soles of the feet by sitting back on the heels. So with the toes tucked, now if this is too much for your feet, feel free to just untuck and land back on the tops of the feet. And if you're okay with the toes tucked, we're gonna stay there. We're gonna be there for a few minutes. And now I'm gonna give you an option. You can either just keep your arms neutral, or if you do wanna come into a little bit of a shoulder stretch, an option to take our eagle arms so that we can stretch both the shoulders and the soles of the feet, but it's just an option. If you have a shoulder injury, then feel free to just skip it. So we're gonna take our arms up and then just bring our arms to cross. And then you can grip opposite shoulders, or you might weave the arms together, just kind of high-fiving through the hands. So this whole concept of letting go comes up over and over again in the philosophy of yoga. I think if letting go were that easy, then people would be doing it all the time. As human beings, we have this tendency to hold on to our patterns, to our habits, to our reactions, our ways of being. Simply because it's what we know and we're just afraid of change. Can you open your arms up? We're just about that halfway point. And then crisscross them the opposite way. I think we're afraid of letting go mostly because we don't know what can come from it. But what we can receive from letting go, if we're courage and we're brave, what we can receive can be beautiful if we just trust and we open our minds to it. So just take a couple more breaths with our toes tucked and our arms wrapped around. And then we're gonna unwind and just place our palms down, lift off your feet, and then just pedal through the feet, massaging out the toe mounds. And then how would it feel to sit back on your heels again and then just stay here? Or you might lift your knees up so you're stretching through the fronts of the ankles. This can be quite an intense stretch, especially if you are a runner or a cyclist or really doing any kind of exercise where you're using the muscles of the ankle, but we're not often stretching the front. So even if you're just like an inch off the mat, it's okay. Just feeling that opening. And then can you just walk your body forward? And we'll take our knees wide and our toes together. And then just sit our hips back on our heels and rest into our child's pose. Let your head be heavy, let your arms be heavy. Let your whole body be heavy. With each breath in, feel an energetic lifting. And with each breath out, just soften and sink a little deeper into the pose. So I think one of the largest ways that I have experienced letting go is when I let go of drinking alcohol. I think it was a really important part of my identity that shaped who I was and how I experienced the world, how I moved through the world. And so quitting drinking was scary because I was like, who am I without the booze? Who am I without the glass of wine or the beer or the cocktail? And I think what I experienced in the process of letting go was that my life was so much more beautiful and happy without alcohol, but I just didn't know what my life would be like without it, so I was afraid. Take a few more breaths in that child's pose. And then just slowly lift all the way up. And then roll your hips all the way around. Come into a crisscross for a moment. Let's just take a rebound and feel the effects of that pose on the body. Now the next pose that we're going to take, it's going to be another forward fold. So you're going to come to bring your soles of feet together and let your knees knot wide. And if you do want to take it a little bit deeper, you can place a block between your feet if you feel like there's a bit more space. And if your knees are a bit high up, you also might place blocks underneath your knees to support them. So a few different options. If you're finding that the tilt at your pelvis is, it's hard to tilt, you can also have a block or a pillow underneath your bottom. And then you're gonna either stay upright just like this, or slowly start to hinge forward. Knowing that we will be here for 3 minutes as well. I remember when I first was alcohol free, I hit a time period towards the end of my first maybe month or so sober. And I remember driving to work in the morning and just thinking like how amazing it was to not be hungover. I remember driving by the Grand Mosque, which is this beautiful big mosque here in Abu Dhabi, and just looking at it as the sunrise glinted off of it and just thinking, how lucky am I to experience this? Laura McCowan, she says she created the hashtag and wrote the book where she says, we are the luckiest. And I truly think that is the case because we have, seen the worst of the hangovers and the worst of life as a drinker, and then when you move past it and you see the beauty and the benefit of being alcohol free, makes you wonder, like, why did it take so long for me to let go of this? And I think it's because we're afraid of what we're going to receive from letting go. Take one more breath. And then can you just roll all the way up to seated? And then let's bring our legs to cross once again, taking that rebound pose for a moment. And we're going to come into a one-legged forward fold. So you're just going to bring your left sole of foot to the inside of the right thigh, and then reach your arms up towards the sky, taking a breath in, And then hinging your heart forward over that right leg. And if you do want to have a cushion on top of the right leg, feel free just to support yourself. I think forward folding poses are one of the best metaphors for letting go. Because we're letting go of effort and we're just receiving the pose. Receiving all the benefits. What would you be lighter if you let go of? Take a few more breaths on this side. And then just make your way all the way up. And then we'll switch it out the other way. So extending your left leg, bringing your right foot to the inside of the left leg. And then just hinging your heart forward, whether that's on a pillow or a block or no cushion at all. Be on this side for maybe about a minute and a half longer. Taking another breath. And then you're just gonna roll your way all the way up to seated. If you have a cushion with you, just slide it to the side. And then slowly start to stretch or make your way into a final resting pose. And you can be heavy with the legs and heavy with the shoulders and heavy with the arms, taking deep breaths in and out. Imagining that maybe there's a vacuum coming up over you. And it's just drawing up and it's sucking up anything that you've been holding. And it's clearing and lifting you. And then you feel this sense of lightness and this sense of peace. Remain here for just a few more breaths, a few more moments. Letting go and just receiving this moment and receiving this posture. And just know that I'll bring you back when the time is up. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Giving your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. Running a nice stretch, fingers through toes. Curling your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice little hug. And then just making your way up with your palms at your heart center. Closing with our intention. It's that our practice remain steady and our efforts remain continuous, and our yoga serves and benefits all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe, happy, healthy, and free, and may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So we'll finish with an Om, and we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale through to make the Om. So a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing the space and the practice. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste.